Good morning, sunshines, and welcome back to another virtual story time with Mrs. C. I'm Mrs. C, your favorite virtual storytime librarian, here to share another great day and another great week of fun, reading, and learning. Did you guys have a great weekend? I'm so glad you did. Mrs. C had a great weekend as well. Well, Sunshines, we're going to kick off this week with a brand new letter. But before we jump into today's letter, can you tell us the letters that we've already been through? That's right, we've been through Adventurous Annie, which has the letter A. What's the next letter? Bookie Ben, and that's the letter B. And the next letter? Curious Carla, and that's the letter C. And the next letter? Daring Danny, and that's the letter D. Sunshines, you guys are doing a great job of learning all about the letters of the alphabet. Well, Sunshine, are you ready for today's letter? Well, guess what? It's time for the
letter of the day is E! It's the letter of the day! It's the letter of the day! It's the letter, it's the letter, it's the letter of the day! It's the letter of the day! It's the letter of the day! E!
That's right, it's time for the letter of the day. This week we are going to be working with the letter E. And I want you to meet my brand new friend, Enchanting Ella. Can you say good morning, Enchanting Ella? Good morning, Ella. Enchanting Ella loves all things about the letter E, and she loves stories here in her library about wizards and fairies and magical things. And this week, we are going to be sharing different stories that teaches us all about the letter E sound and the sound that it makes, and maybe one or two stories about the things that Ella likes. Can we do that on this week? Before we jump into today's story, can you tell me what sound the letter E makes? That's right. The letter E makes its own sound E that is found at the end of words like B, E, B. B has the letter E sound. And the word B also starts with our friend Bookie Ben. That's right. And when you put the letters together, you get the sound B, E, B. Good job, Sunshines. What other sound does the letter E make? That's right. It makes the E sound, as in the word egg. Good job, Sunshines. Well, Sunshines, you know how we do. We learn all about the sounds of the letter E, and then we jump right into signing it for our friends, our hard of hearing friends. So let's jump right into today's Move and Groove It Minute with Mr. Jack Hartman with See It, Say It, Sign It. And we'll be right back with today's story.
See it, say it, sign it, letter E in the alphabet. See it, say it, sign it, letter E in the alphabet. To sign letter E, place your 4 fingertips on top of your thumb. This is the sign for E, E, E. This is the sign for E, letter E in the alphabet. E says egg, egg, egg. E says egg. It's fun to sing and sign. E says elephant. 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 E says elephant. It's fun to sing and sign. See it, say it, sign it. Letter E in the alphabet. See it, say it, sign it. Letter E in the alphabet. E says equal. 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 E says equal. It's fun to sing and sign. E says eagle. 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 E says eagle. It's fun to sing and sign. See it, say it, sign it. Letter E in the alphabet. See it, say it, sign it. Letter E in the alphabet.
Did you enjoy the Move and Groove Minute? Are you ready for story time? Well, let's jump right into today's story. Today's story is called Emergency. Emergency. The word emergency starts with the letter E, and it says its own name in the word. Emergency. What do you think is going to happen in today's story? The letter E is going to have an emergency. You think the letter E is going to go to the hospital? Well, why don't we read and find out, shall we? Let's go. The cast of today's story is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And look at the picture, Sunshine. It says the other cast, and it shows the letter E pointing down at its foot. Maybe you're right, Sunshines. Let's read and find out. Emergency. All the letters live together in a big house. You see all of the letters and they're saying, I'm quite useless without you. I love these old comfy books. So all the letters need each other, which is why they live in the same house together. Because when you put the letters together, they make words. That's right. Every morning, they ran downstairs to breakfast. Breakfast ahead! Chow time! I'm still sleepy. You're always sleepy. One morning, E came down the stairs a little too fast. E! Oh! Everyone came running to see what happened. E, are you okay? Here's the spot where she tripped. No, we are. Why is E on the floor? Is she exercising? Eavesdropping? Excavating? And Z says, I'm exhausted. As always, A took action. J, walk across the street and get the number so we can call 911. Aye, A. Z, wake up and go over to Punctuation's house. We're going to need more exclamation marks. The EMTs rushed in with an IV ready to perform CPR. Emergency alarm! Danger! Stand back! Animo! Speed it up! Vigorously! Pronto! Then they got her ready to go to the ER. Why isn't E even crying? Sometimes she's a silent E. She just needs some TLC and an X-ray. It's a lot going on with the letter E, isn't it, Sunshines? After the ambulance exited, A assembled the alphabet. Someone is going to have to take the place of E while she gets better. O, you're the obvious option because you're so well rounded. But I'm so busy. Why can't one of the consonants help out? Don't be obnoxious, O. You know the consonants just speak gibberish without us vowels. So no one can use E, including us? E-gods. That's right. Starting right now, it's O instead of E. That's it. Period. Does that sound right, Sunshines? So A made the decision that none of the words can use the letter E. Instead, they have to use the letter O in the place of E. Does that gonna make the word sound weird? Well, let's keep reading and find out. A, an exclamation mark, made the big announcement. E is enjoyable and can't work, so O must bow usod instead of E. Do not use E until show rokovos, or you could inflict hormonal injury. And the sign says spatial bulletin. D and C went to Washington to alert the U.S. government. Will no full government corporations, including the OPO, the FCC, the FDIC, NASA, FOMO, and OSHA. Overall body must follow our instructions about the letter to the letter. Does that make any sense to you, Sunshines? It doesn't make any sense to Enchanting Ella and Mrs. C either. I think I'm getting confused. And I think the people in front of Congress is getting confused too. And the rest of the letters talked it up on the talk shows. How are all you guys doing without your phone? Well, all couldn't bowl hole because holes to Bozy filling in for E. But the rest of us soon to be doing just fine. Guess what I am? Look at Mo! I'm on TV! Hi, Mom! I have to go to the bathroom. Again, you two should sit together. VO show. It sounds really weird, doesn't it, Sunshines? O did his best filling in for E, but the results were quite confusing. Look at the front page of the paper. It says, man bites dog. Big troll falls on Tony car. That is really weird, Sunshines. And look at the cafeteria. It says, today's delicious lunch, malt loaf, room salad, postport, jolo, and porchos. And look at the word cafeteria. It says cafeteria. That's really weird, isn't it, Sunshines? And look at the signs all across town. It says speed limit 30. And then look at the Goodyear blimp. It says Goodyear. And look at the shops. Doesn't it seem really weird without having the letter E? It sure does. Got well soon. To make matters worse, E wasn't getting better. The MDs couldn't figure out why. Woe did all sorts of toast, including an MRI, a CAT scan, and an OKG. Poor Tomodo is final, but show's still not ready to go back to work. Why oh why isn't our buddy getting better? It is really getting hard to try to read these words without the letter E. A decided they need to take a trip to spread the word about the letter. I'm ready to run. I'm on board. Pack your bags, Lordors. It's time for a journal. I'm delighted. I'm talking it all. I'm working out a plan. I'm in. I'm puckled. I'm excited. It's getting harder. They traveled near. Don't worry, guys. It's temporary. It just don't have the same old ring to it. Lose it. Look at the way they spelled Liberty Bell is Liberty Bowl. And look at the languages all around the world without the letter E and far. Mrs. C is not even gonna try to pronounce those words. They got me all tongue-tied without using the letter E. It's extremely hard, isn't it, Sunshine? I'm pretty sure you all are laughing at Mrs. C and Enchanting Ella on this morning. When they got home, E still wasn't recovered. Woovo boom, poton, but our patient is still ill. The letters had a problem. Somebody is disobeying our letter law. Wait, I think I know who the culprit is. Who's the culprit, Sunshine? Let's find out. Oi, narrator, but read on, buddy. Stop using our right now. I'm not doing it, am I, Sunshine? I'm actually trying to read it the way that they wrote it. But I'm having a really hard time, aren't I? So the last person using you know who stumbled. That's butter. No. Quick as a wink. Show was out of board and ready to go back to work. Just in time for the end. That story was extremely hard to read without the letter E, wasn't it, Sunshines? So do you understand why is this so important to learn how to read and to know how to pronounce all of the letters in the alphabet the correct way? What was the problem in the story? That's right, letter E tripped down the stairs, and then the letters decided that we couldn't use the letter E in the words, right? But was it extremely hard to read that story without the letter E? Mrs. C sounded like she had an accent, didn't she? And Mrs. C got tongue-tied, didn't she? That's why it's important to take the time to learn your letters and the different sounds that they make, and make sure that when you're writing, you don't misspell anything, because it would make your words sound weird, right? Right, and I don't think Enchanting Ella liked being left out of the story, did you, Ella? No, you didn't, but it's okay. We're going to use Enchanting Ella from now on, right? Sunshines, what was the title of today's story? Emergency. And was it an emergency without using the letter E? Yes, it was. Sunshines, I hope you enjoyed today's fun tongue twisting story. And I hope Mrs. C didn't confuse you so much, but I hope that you enjoyed hearing me trying to read words without having the letter E in my book. But I want you to spend the rest of the day, you know how we do, looking for words that begin with the letter E and the letter E sound. Remember, the letter E says its own name sometimes at the end of words and sometimes in the middle of words. And it also makes the short E sound, eh. So I want you to spend the rest of the day finding all those words. And remember to practice signing the letter E as well so that you can continue to learn and grow. Until tomorrow, sunshines, keep reading and we'll see you the next time. Bye and keep using the letter E.